Dear 21-year-old Aaron, I love you, and you're completely nuts, which at this stage of your life is completely fine. You've just discovered your love of traveling the world, and it's going to consume your life for the better part of a decade. Let it. Traveling is going to teach you that almost all of the things you know to be true are wrong, which is great. The process of finding that out is going to be so wild and interesting that you don't need to change a thing. But let's point out some of your dumbest opinions up front so we know what we're referring to here, shall we? Atheism isn't nearly as cool as you think it is, and Richard Dawkins' opinions on religion are about as fun for the people forced to listen to them as a fire alarm. They didn't ask, you're not going to convince them, and you're going to realize that it's all quite silly in a few years anyways. People who live in the suburbs aren't tasteless idiots with no real interests, to quote your journal from this period. Even though unwalkable endless rows of pastel-colored houses with no cafes or grocery stores in sight is, in fact, quite stupid, it's not the people who live there's fault. Many of these people are lovely and will be great friends in the years to come. What you call love is infatuation. What you call infatuation is, in fact, insanity. Your parents did the best they could with what they had, and they don't deserve even a tenth of the angst that you're shoving on them. That restlessness is internal, not the fault of the people who raised you. It only feels like it's their fault because that's the human experience. You're about to head off on your first international backpacking trip, traipsing around Europe for 2 months. Because of this trip, you'll end up making travel the sole focus of your life for the next 9 years. It's going to feel like that's all that will ever matter. It's not, but here are a few spoilers from these formative years. You're going to spend a lot of time wondering if anyone will ever love you, wondering if you're lovable at all, and trying to dream up creative ways to make people love you more. This is simultaneously idiotic and the most important work you'll ever do. You'll be blown away by the generosity of people who have nothing and baffled at the greed of people who have everything. Some of the ones that will stick with you are A Nepali man you barely know will offer to pay for half of a tailored jacket you don't need and decided to get on a whim. B An old Inuit woman will spend hours teaching you how to cut, hang, smoke, and dry salmon for the winter, patiently correcting you as you mutilate the fish she puts in front of you, trying to imitate what's been second nature to her for decades. C. In Vietnam, you'll watch a rich man's private security force an unhoused family to get up and walk out into the deluge in the street during a storm, so that blinged out dork can walk on the sidewalk under the awning and avoid getting wet. One day, travel will cease to be the center of your universe, and you'll need to find something new to put in that position. Right now, it feels like you're a nomad in the deepest part of your soul, and that everyone back home who's saddled down with jobs, cars, and marriages and kids is trapped in some sort of evil conspiracy that only you can see. This is the kind of blind certainty that only a 21-year-old can have, so enjoy it. In the next few years, you'll start to see the cracks in that ideology. One day, the rewards that travel has brought you will disappear. It will no longer bring the mental or emotional returns it once did. This is going to feel like the end of your world. In a way, it will be. You're going to have to rebuild and renegotiate purpose in your life. And it's going to feel like you're lost. Trust me, you're not. You just need to get used to the idea that having a career, house, and marriage is not a failure of imagination. I know that you're sitting with big feelings right now. If I could, I would sit next to you on one of those park benches thousands of miles from home where you sit and read sad books for hours and tell you that it's going to be okay. I'd assure you that all of this wandering and waiting for buses and walking for miles in foreign cities and staring into the void does, in fact, turn into something. You buy a wonderful house and get very into decorating it. You end up in a fulfilling career, and you get engaged to an incredible woman. You experience periods of domestic bliss that you didn't know were possible. And yes, sometimes you play pickleball and wear socks with sandals. But as it turns out, the lameness of an American middle class life actually feels great if you live it with a sense of purpose. You'll probably never lose your rebellious attitude or the certainty that the world has lost its mind. Those might be with you for life. So, as I said, if I could sit next to you and hug you, I would, but I can't. So hang in there, because the next 11 years are going to be wild. Don't forget to enjoy yourself. Love, Aaron.